What is up, YouTube? This is Luis Joel and welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing something a little special for the holidays. We're making smoked oven roasted turkey with sausage stuffing and gravy. I'm going to show you how to smoke the whole turkey in the Masterbuilt electric smoker and finish it off in the oven. It's going to be smoky, juicy, and flavorful. Almost everything is going to be made from scratch except the store-bought breadcrumbs that I use for the stuffing. As always, these recipes are easy to follow along at home, so you too can replicate the results in your own home kitchen. So yeah, enough talk, let's get into it. Today I'm going to be starting off with a Butterball 15-pound whole turkey. I did buy this frozen and I just let it defrost in my fridge for about 3 days. When you go to remove the turkey from the packaging, just make sure you do it in the sink so you don't get any juices all over your counter. I removed all the insides and I made sure to pat it dry with some paper towel. Now if you notice, there's a lot of loose flabby skin on the front neck part of the turkey. I just took care to remove that. And just take care to make sure everything stays dry so that way your rub will stick to the skin. I don't have any meat twine to tie the legs together, so I'm just going to use this wooden skewer instead. Now we are going to be injecting this turkey with this injectable Creole butter. And I'm going to be adding some of my barbecue rub to that Creole butter for more flavor. I poured all of it into a mixing cup and I added about 4 tablespoons of my rub. And I just mixed it all together. And that's how you want it to look. You don't want any lumps or clumps in it. Now I'm just going to take a simple meat injector and I'm going to start injecting that Creole butter into the turkey. I'm going to try to inject as much of this Creole butter into every single space of the meat as I can. I'm going to do the legs, the breasts, the wings. I'm going to be injecting the marinade into about 1 centimeter apart from each spot I previously injected from. And just be very careful not to stab yourself just because that injector is pretty sharp. Whenever you're dealing with sharp instruments, you always want to take your time. Don't rush anything. After I'm done injecting, I'm just going to rub the excess marinade onto the skin so it could act as a binder for my rub. And I'm just going to sprinkle an even amount of rub all over the skin. Some of that rub is going to fall off, which is no big deal. Make sure to season the inside cavity of the turkey as well. And that's how you want it to look. Today we're going to be using the Masterbuilt electric smoker. This is the 30-inch unit. And we're going to go ahead and set it and preheat it to 275 degrees. Gonna go ahead and fill up the chip tray with some wood chips, and today we're using some maple wood. Since we're smoking turkey today, I want a nice light smoke flavor, and maple's perfect for that. Once the Masterbuilt is preheated, we're gonna go ahead and add the turkey, and I'm gonna put it on the second most bottom rack. I'm gonna monitor the temperature with this wire probe thermometer, and I'm just gonna stick it into the thickest part of the turkey breast. I'm gonna let this rock out for about 2 hours until it hits an internal temperature of 130 degrees Fahrenheit. And when it comes to turkey, you want to make sure that your smoker is set to the highest temperature possible. My Masterbuilt only goes up to 275, so that's what I set it to. While the turkey is smoking, we're going to start making our sausage stuffing. I'm going to use a 1-pound package of ground country sausage, and I'm going to brown it on my cast iron skillet. I'm not adding any oil just because there's going to be plenty of fat rendering from this sausage. After the sausage is nice and brown, I'm going to add it to a mixing bowl. Then I'm going to clean the skillet and I'm going to add some oil to it. I took 2 medium carrots and half a white onion and roughly chopped them up. And we're going to go ahead and saute those until they're nice and translucent. I also add a little bit of this squeezable minced garlic. And I just saute that up. And if you notice, I don't use any celery just because I don't really like celery. And I'm just going to add that to the mixing bowl. Now this is just a package of store-bought breadcrumb stuffing and I add the whole packet into the mixing bowl. This is just 2 large eggs and I just beat that in. Now this is just some turkey broth that I made from the insides that came with the turkey. And I add about a cup of that in. And I just mix all that up just so that way everything's nice and well incorporated. And I add in a little bit of fresh chopped parsley. And again, just mix that all in. I clean the cast iron again and I add some non-stick butter spray. And I'm just going to pour the stuffing into the skillet. And I'm going to pat it down to make sure everything fits well. I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit more of that fresh parsley on top. Then I'm gonna wrap it up with some aluminum foil so it's ready to bake for 45 minutes after the turkey's done. Once the turkey had hit an internal temperature of 131 degrees, I decided to take it out. And we're gonna go ahead and transfer it onto a wire rack, and we're gonna add some clarified butter onto the skin. Now I did forget to record this, but I do cover up the turkey with some aluminum foil just so that way it cooks evenly in the oven. But we're gonna finish roasting this in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit until the internal temperature of the turkey hits 165. And every 45 minutes, I'm going to be basting the skin with some clarified butter so that way the skin doesn't dry out on me. And then recover back up with some aluminum foil. And once again, repeat this every 45 minutes until the turkey's finished. Alright guys, after about 5 hours, the turkey breast is reading at a 165 degrees and it's ready to come off. We're gonna let this turkey rest for about 45 minutes until we start cutting into it. In the meantime, while the turkey's resting, you want to toss the stuffing into the oven as well. And bake it at 350 degrees. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and prepare some gravy. I just took some of the fat drippings from the turkey and I'm going to pour it into this mini little sauce pot. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of flour and I'm just going to whisk it together to make a roux. And about a 1 cup of that turkey broth that I made earlier. And we're going to just mix that in and cook it on a low simmer. Once it starts thickening up, we're going to add some salt and pepper to taste. And again, with the whisk, you want to mix all that in. And let that continue to reduce until it becomes a nice thickness. And the way you know it's a proper thickness is if it coats the back of a spoon. And there you guys have it, simple homemade turkey gravy. After the turkey's rested for about 45 minutes, you can go ahead and start carving into the turkey. And make sure you have a nice sharp chef knife. If your knife's not sharp, trust me, you're going to be making a bigger mess on your cutting board. For the wings, I like to just rip them off with my hands. For the turkey breast, you want to run your knife right along the turkey breastbone. It'll make separating the breast a lot easier. As always, take your time so that way you don't shred apart the meat before you get to serve it to people. And just look at the juice running out of the meat. Because we injected this turkey with that Creole butter, it just came out so juicy. A lot of that Creole butter was just seeping out of the meat. And because we seasoned the Creole butter with the barbecue rub, everything just came out so well seasoned and flavorful. This is why I prefer injecting the turkey over brining, just because you could overcook the meat and it would still come out juicy. That injected butter just ensures that no part of the meat dries out when you're cooking the turkey. A lot of people struggle to make moist turkey. I feel like if you're someone who wants to make sure the turkey doesn't dry out on you, and you don't have the time or the means to brine it, I highly recommend injecting the meat with some kind of marinade or butter. Plus, I also think it's a lot easier than brining it too. With the turkey breast, you want to cut against the grain so that way the meat doesn't shred apart on you. And as you can see, the turkey breast is nice and tender, but still very moist. After carving the turkey, the stuffing's ready to come out of the oven. If you notice on the left, I was making some pineapple ham. Maybe in a later video I'll show you guys how I make it. Well guys, after everything's done, now comes the part that I'm always excited about. Just gonna serve a nice portion of that stuffing. And personally, I like the white meat of the turkey. Put some of that skin on top. I'm just gonna drizzle a little bit of that gravy on top of everything. I like a lot of gravy on both the turkey and the stuffing. I'm gonna add some of that smoked ham with the pineapple chunks. And lastly, I'm just gonna garnish with some of that fresh parsley. And I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit of the dry parsley flakes on top. Just a little bit, not too much. There you guys have it, some homemade smoked oven roasted turkey. Guys, if you're tired of the same old turkey every year for Thanksgiving, then try out this recipe. Believe me, you won't regret it. Once I started injecting and smoking my turkeys, I never went back to just regular oven roasted turkey again. And like I said before, next time I'll show you guys how I make that smoked pineapple ham. If you guys like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.